Hello and welcome to Run It Back on the Raptors Republic Network. I'm Zulfi Sheikh here, joined by Cody Wiles and Kyle Ramnarine. The three of us were able to actually get together to commiserate as a group. We are recording this right after the 2025 NBA Draft Lottery results were announced. We'll be playing our reaction to it just before we start talking here. You'll see how we felt about it. My dog just yawned in the back. He's not feeling great about it either.
All right,
Oh,
here we
here's Mark
go.
Tatum.
Here we go, buddy.
Oh my God, man.
I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. Oh, he's just starting. He's going.
Damn.
Okay, there we go.
Kyle, delay your reactions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll let you guys say the picks so I know I can say something.
Okay, Spurs. I think that was pretty standard
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
because that's the Atlanta pick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Okay, so from Sacramento, yeah.
oh yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
if that jumped up higher than 12, Sacramento would have kept it.
12.
Hmm. There we go.
Keon Ellis sitting there for nothing.
What?
Okay. They dropped, I think, right? Were they 10 or 9?
They were 11.
They were 11? Okay, so
Yeah.
they dropped.
Someone just jump up?
Well, they had to have.
Why they gotta say that about the Mavericks?
Dallas moved up.
Oh my God. How? Please
Okay,
tell me they
so
didn't move. I'm
this
gonna be a
this
conspiracy
technically could
theorist.
be Toronto at 10. Oh, it's not. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure, yeah, this
Oh
could be
my God.
Toronto as well at
Yeah, Toronto's
9.
in all these ranges, right?
No!
Ah,
Oh
there we go. There we
my
go.
God.
I had to stop moving for a second.
Oh no, look at Masai. He's so sad.
Damn it.
Ninth?
Damn it, man. Damn it.
The Spurs jumped up?
I'm a conspiracy theorist now. I'm sorry. I'm believing every conspiracy. The Spurs and the Mavericks have jumped up into the top four.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
oh my God.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
Well, this sucks.
Yo, this is insanity.
Oh, the Sixers moved up.
Oh no no
The
no
Sixers
no
are
no
about to
no
get
no.
this first
This
pick.
is
I'm telling you guys
literally
right
this
now,
is
the
literally
Sixers are
every
about to get
scenario.
this first
This
pick.
is every scenario I didn't want. This is
This
stop smiling,
Why are you
Jared
smiling,
McCain.
the
Jared
Sixers are about
McCain?
to get the
Oh
first
my
pick, bro.
God. I don't want any of them to get the first, second pick. You know what I mean?
This
Like
is yeah, this is bro. Oh
two of
my
these teams are going to be
God.
picking Dylan
Oh,
Harper or Cooper
brutal for
Flag. Oh,
Utah.
Utah, you got screwed. I mean, they tanked horribly, but oh my God. You're telling me one of the Sixers, Spurs, or Mavericks is ending up with Cooper
AD
Flag
Cooper
and
flag
then
inbound.
Dylan Harper?
ADX Cooper flag inbound.
No, I'm so mad. I'm actually, this is, it's not rigged, but oh my God, it feels like it's rigged.
Bro,
These are all the teams you didn't want to see this
this is
happen with.
ridiculous. This is ridiculous, bro.
These are
Oh
like the
my
least
God.
deserving. Oh my God.
Bro, I'm pretty sure when that nine
Oh
pick got
my
announced, you could
God.
see me just like stutter for a second.
Oh my God. And the Hornets, man. The Hornets haven't done anything with their lottery
Oh,
picks. What are you
bro.
talking about
This is
here?
the Mavs are
LaMelo
getting
Ball and Brandon Miller are taking 23s a game. That's all they're doing.
Nico's getting rewarded for trading Luca. This is what this is, bro. This
Oh my
is what
God,
this
man. This
is,
is
man.
so annoying.
This is what this is. This is insanity. Oh,
Oh my God. 9.
I just,
bro. Man.
bro, it's the fact that, I would be really annoyed if the Spurs, their pick from Atlanta jumped up because obviously
Yeah.
that's crazy. But the fact that their own pick
Their
jumped up,
actual
man.
pick. Their,
They got the Raptors pick last year. I'm pretty sure they traded it and the Wolves took Rob Dillingham or whatever. But then like now you're gonna end up with a top four pick. You have Stephon Castle, the reigning rookie of the year with Wembanyama. Oh my God. I j-
If they get Cooper Flag, man, I swear.
the Spurs or the
I
If the
would
Sixers.
believe
Sixers get Cooper
What
Flag,
is like the best outcome here? What do you guys like out of the worst? Like pick your poison. Who do you want to
like,
get the number one pick here?
I
the
guess like
NBA folds. That's my answer. That's the best outcome. The league
um,
is over.
like it would be nice if we got sent to the West, I guess, but like
Oh my
Oh
God,
my
bro. Why
God.
the Mavs are the NBA gods like, yeah, you traded away your generational superstar. Let's give you another one. Oh man. And then you got 76ers over there.
The Spurs could low-key trade it, to be honest. Like if they really wanted to,
I
like see if
think
they could
about
add something
that.
spicy. I
I
saw
think about that
somebody
too.
mention today about like the idea of like adding Giannis next to Wemby because obviously Giannis is such a downhill force and he can alleviate some of that pressure off Victor Wembanyama. So like you could put a spicy package together if you're the Spurs. You know what I mean?
That is true. That I would consider that too.
Especially if it's not number one, right? Like if you have like a top three, top four pick. Oh my God, man, just like I can't think of a worst
This
case
this
scenario.
is the worst outcome right here. This oh my
It's one of
God.
those moments where I didn't realize I was preying on the downfall of my enemies than I was actually hoping for the success of my team. I think I tweeted this out earlier or wrote about it like the teams I did not want to see
Yeah.
ending up in this position. Like it was in my notes about like I was gonna ask you guys who you didn't want to see the lottery. I had the Sixers, the Mavs, and the Spurs. Those are the only three teams I wrote down, and they're all in the top four now.
Oh my
Do you guys
God.
think we'll ever see another like the Raps get the number one pick in our lifetime? Or like do you think we'll die before that happens?
God damn.
Like, do you
I
think
mean,
that will
I'm gonna say
ever
This got
yes.
dark.
I hope
This got
so.
dark real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna say sure. I hope
Oh
so.
my God, bro, my vibe just got killed, man. That ninth pull, bro.
A
Oh,
12.9% chance of landing here.
Is this where the ping pong balls come in, or did they already do that?
Nah, it's already all done.
Nah.
It's all done.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So two teams jumped them.
So the ping pong balls happen for like the top. Was it four? I think right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the top
Yeah,
four.
the top four, and then from there, it's just kind of ordered
Reverse.
in
Yeah.
worst to best record.
Okay.
Oh my God, man, just
This is
that is so bogus.
tough. Tough scenes, bro.
I don't even want to watch this now. Like I genuinely am so deflated. Like I don't
I
want to
want to turn
see.
this off, bro. If I see the Sixers or the Mavs, I actually might explode, bro. I can't even lie to you.
The thing is, we're gonna talk about this, but at nine, like the conversation becomes so blurry when it comes to Raptors and picking
Yeah,
prospects. Like some of it will truly just come down to who falls and who doesn't get picked between then, and then like from there, it's like figure it out. Honestly,
I really hope that. Hey, Brandon, if the Celtics win tonight too, that's just the cherry on top, man. I'm like, I can't.
if the Celtics win too, my thoughts are gonna get very dark. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tweeted this out where I'm like, oh, the ping pong balls are going to determine my mental health, and it's so true. Like right now, I didn't realize how bad it was going to be.
Bro, I didn't think it would hit me like this, bro. I really saw that. I saw it get pulled out. I was like,
Oh my
Oh no, I
God.
see a Shams tweet. I don't even know if I want to look at it because he's probably spoiling it.
no, I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
Oh,
I just flipped it.
oh, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I saw it. I saw it. I'm not going to say it. I'm believing in
Well,
every conspiracy theory.
you looked at, we all, you hate all four of the teams that are there. So you didn't really reveal much
Oh
there.
Exactly.
man.
Exactly. That's why I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'm so annoyed. I just,
If it's Dallas,
I'm just gonna.
Nico Harris's job saved if it's Dallas.
Charlotte gets four. Okay.
This is BS, man. This is BS. I'm so
Charlotte
sorry.
at four.
Thank God they got number three
I
again.
can't believe they were all right around the Raptors range too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So the Spurs are gonna get
Yeah. The Spurs are gonna get Dylan Harper and the freaking Mavericks. The Mavericks who just gave away their
I
franchise star
know
Luka
Nico is
Doncic.
smiling right now, bro. I know Nico. This is insanity.
Oh
This is
my
insanity.
God. This is bro. They just sent away their Cooper flag just to get another Cooper flag.
Yeah, they're pointing at him. Do you see this? Pointing?
Oh my God. I Cooper Flag and Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. That is freaking sick, by the way, I have to say. But dude, this guy's gonna have a beer and they're gonna put him on house arrest.
They said they never won the lottery before. They had
they had a
a
1 point
1.8% chance.
Oh my God, man. Oh my God.
Nico Harrison, you genius.
Shut up. Shut up. Gee, shut up. No. Oh my God. I hate everything right now. But I'll start with you, Cody, just super quick before we get into it. How are you feeling after that?
I was just saying it before we need to record. I need to go for a walk. It's it's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's how the ping pong balls fall. That's how it goes. That's how it works. honestly, glass half full. There's teams that should be feeling a lot worse than Raptors fans. So there's that. We're not the biggest losers, I'd say, but falling 2 spots to number 9 is pretty brutal.
Yeah, look, I'm going to be honest. That is not my gripe as much with this draft as what we'll talk about in a second, or this lottery. I mean, Kyle, how are you before we really dive into this?
I'm just in disbelief because I need to know like how many times the NBA ran this simulation backstage to make this happen, bro. Utah fell 4 spots, Washington fell 4 spots, New Orleans fell 2, Brooklyn fell 2, Toronto fell 2. That's how crazy this draft is. Dallas jumped up 10. What?
Yeah, look, we'll put a graphic up later on, but just to give you a quick summary for the people that are watching and listening, the Mavericks, they jumped up, like Kyle said, with a 1.8% chance. They jumped up to the top spot. They will be drafting number 1 in the upcoming draft in June, presumably taking Cooper Flag, because, they could use a bright young star. It's not like they had one of those recently. The San Antonio Spurs, they jumped up. They were 1 spot behind the Raptors. They had, I believe it was around an 8% chance or so to jump up. Maybe it was a bit less to jump into the first overall pick. And the Dallas,
a 6% chance.
6% chance. Yeah. Okay. So 6% chance. They won 4 more games than the Raptors. They jumped up to number 2. The Sixers, they jumped up to number 3. The Hornets at 4. Like Kyle mentioned, the Jazz dropped to 5. Wizards at 6. The New Orleans Pelicans at 7. The Brooklyn Nets at 8. The Toronto Raptors at number 9, dropping 2 spots. The Rockets at 10. Blazers 11. The Chicago Bulls at 12. The Atlanta Hawks at 13. And just because 1 pick wasn't enough, the San Antonio Spurs end up with the 14th overall pick via Atlanta as well. Cody, I'll start with you, I guess, just like an actual initial reactions to the whole draft order.
Yeah, I mean, what? Like question marks? Like that's
good way to put it.
That's exactly what it is. Everything we have thought has been basically flipped on its head. I mean, I alluded to it earlier, but you gotta feel for the Jazz and Wizards, man. Falling out of the top 5, that's what I mean. At least the Raptors, okay, they still have a base foundation. Everybody, they still have good players, but teams like the Jazz and the Wizards that were unbeatable tanks, unfathomable tanks, and that's the talent that those rosters have. Again, they are right outside the top 4, which I think you got Cooper, you got Dylan, and then I think VJ and Ace Bailey are in their own little tier at 3-4 as well. So they don't even get a top 4 pick. Man, brutal for them. I don't know why that's my biggest takeaway. Is just but seeing the teams at the top fall down like that is brutal for them. And then Toronto at 9, which we'll get into eventually here, but also brutal.
It sounds like you're just a very empathetic guy. You really feel for these teams that fell down a little bit.
Hey,
it's happened to Detroit in the past. It happens when you tank a lot sometimes, unfortunately.
Hey, you guys can rant about that. I mean, we can rant about Dallas, whatever. Made a dumb decision. It worked out for them.
That's why I'm going to rant about it. It was a terrible decision, and it worked out for them. Come on, man. They shouldn't be rewarded for it.
But what's it gonna? I mean, you got to move forward. So. I'm already over it. We're 6 minutes into recording.
Right, Cody? Eventually, we will all have to move forward. 25 minutes after it happened, I'm not ready to move forward. I will get there eventually, but for now, I am going to react and rant. But before I do, Kyle, I'll kind of get to you. Like Cody mentioned, it is what it is for a bit of it, but also the teams that got to jump up. There's a conversation there about come on.
Bro, it's ridiculous. The odds for Dallas alone, you said it was 1.8%, and they never won a lottery before this. This is actually ridiculous. It wasn't just they didn't make a dumb decision; they made the dumb decision, and they traded away Luka, and they got rewarded with the number 1 pick in the draft. And I remember way back when when we were discussing Toronto winning games, why are they winning these games? Should they be winning the games? And Sophie was like, remember, you'll never be able to beat a team like Washington. You may never be able to. They did by doing the stupidest things, bro. And I feel bad, like Cody was saying too, but I also feel bad for us, man. I feel bad for us, for Toronto, bro, because we dropped 1 or 2 spots from what we're projected to be at, and now it's kind of just it's up in the air to who we draft now. It's deflating. It sucks to see even more that teams who I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say they clearly like Philly and Dallas don't deserve top 3 picks in the draft. Bro.
No.
Simple as that. It's not like, they put themselves in this position. Okay, Dallas put themselves in this position. The 76ers, they were dealing with Embiid and everything like that. Again, if Jared McCain was healthy, he would have won Rookie of the Year. We are ethically tanking, bro, and it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating to see us dropping spots, and now we're put in this position once again. And it doesn't make any sense to me, man. It doesn't make any sense. It just feels like teams are just being rewarded for doing the worst possible decisions.
Yeah, what irks me more than Dallas getting number 1 is just like Toronto was like so close to even getting a top 2 pick. Like nobody's complaining if Toronto lands at 2, but of course it's the San Antonio Spurs who won 4
Who else,
games.
man?
Yeah, like talk about the rich getting richer, if I'm being honest here. Like the San Antonio Spurs, they end up with 2 and 14. They just traded for De'Aaron Fox. They have the reigning Rookie of the Year in Stephon Castle. And the Rookie of the Year before that, Victor Wembanyama, the first overall pick, generational freak. Obviously, he missed a good chunk of the end of the season with a blood clot diagnosis, but all accounts saying that he is recovering well. And obviously, we hope he gets back on the court very quickly. But like the rich getting richer here with San Antonio. And we'll talk about it in a second about the idea of what San Antonio can do with that pick. But I kind of want to touch on potential options for the Raptors at number 9 first. So, Cody, like you said, it is what it is. The Toronto Raptors front office will have to pivot, I guess, and make a decision here based on where they're at, unless they can somehow figure out a way to trade up or whatnot. But like for the time being, let's say they're at number 9. What names pop up to you?
Yeah, well, first let me start with some numbers. So, rookie scale contract. So, wherever they were going to land, the Raptors were pretty much going to go into the tax. The 9th pick gives them a bit more breathing room. They're still assuming, obviously, he signs. They pick at 9 and this contract is signed. They'll be around $200,000 into the tax with this pick, and that's not accounting the 39th overall pick, which they also have. Chris Boucher and Garrett Temple are still free agents. So there's going to be some maneuvering that they're going to have to do. Obviously, you have till the end of the year to get under the tax line, but as of right now, they're projecting as a tax team to go into the season. As for names they could use around that 9th pick, I'll start with this. I think it's more stomachable to take Common Malawash at 9. If he gets there, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think it could all work out if Common is there at 9. Looking at the order, I don't necessarily see a team that would be dying to pick him. So I think there's a potential because he's not going to go top 4 at the very least. Yeah. Utah at 5, I'd be shocked. Washington at 6, again, I'd be shocked. New Orleans at 7, they took Misi. Could probably use Malawash, but again, maybe not the biggest need. And then Brooklyn at 8, which I guess they could take Malawash as well. But there's a real chance Malawash just falls to the Toronto Raptors at 9, which, I mean, if he's there at 9, I think you have to take him. I think at that point, it'd be really good value. He's number 5 on my board right now. So that would be perfect for them. There's a good litany of guards in this area as well. Say Malawash goes ahead of the Raptors pick. Then there's a couple guards that could fall, like a Jeremiah Fears, a Kasper Siakachonis, are on the lower end of this group of guards who could potentially be available at 9. And then you could get into your forwards with guys like Asa Newell. Carter Bryant is somebody I really like, though 9 might be a bit rich. And then someone like a CMB, a Colin Murray Boyle. So, yeah, it's not Cooper Flagg. It's not Dylan Harper. It's not Ace Bailey. But there's still some good names there, and the Raptors are still going to get a piece. They're still going to get a piece.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, with this, the way the front office was approaching this is like, we want to find that superstar because they're still searching for it, quite honestly, for all the upside there is for Scotty Barnes. But they knew the mathematic probabilities just weren't on their side for that. So now it's just like, I guess in some regards, I'll ask you this, Kyle, like, where does your philosophy now fall for when it comes to the Raptors? Like, if they stay at number 9, like, do you just essentially go best player available? And like Cody just mentioned, you can look at forwards, you can look at guards, you can try to look at bigs that may fall into that range, or like wings or what have you. And it very much becomes a beauty is in the eye of the beholder type of thing. Like, do you just trust that? Like, take whoever you think is the best, regardless of position and fit, and go from there? Or is it like, now that you know you're drafting at 9 and the idea of you getting a superstar is a lot less likely, do you go to fill a role or a potential need, whether it's vertical spacing in a big, or if it's just like, I don't know, point of attack or perimeter defense, what have you? Where do you think the philosophy should lie for this team now?
For me, I think it changed depending on where we landed now, and it's kind of like you saying, like you're saying, now that we have the 9th pick, we gotta fill some sort of role or need on this team, and I think that it starts with filling out the big man position on the team. Like Cody was saying, with come on, if he gets picked up, I was looking at Derek Queen as well, possibly. Yeah, I think that's the decision we got to go with right now, because you could take the best player available, but then it's kind of like, all right, we'll put Fit to the side for now, take this guy, kind of figure it out later. But then again, we were saying like our goals for the season is we kind of want to make a run for the playoffs, and if we're trying to figure out like how Fit works, it's going to be kind of difficult to kind of go with that. And we're also adding Brandon Ingram as well to this team. We don't know how he's going to fit with this team as well. So I feel like the safer option is to be like, okay, get a big that we know we need them to fit this role on this team, because I feel like it's safer overall. But I don't know if you're the Raptors too right now. Not saying you do trade this pick, but do you see what packages are out there for other sort of players? Would you be open to that if you're Masai?
I think you have to be, right? Like this team is not in a position where they're guaranteed anything. There's no certainty in terms of them being able to compete or not. I know Cody's a lot higher than maybe some people, where he thinks this team can very easily be competing for a top 6 spot. I think they should comfortably be in play-in range, and then from there it's like you have to like get things to work well, and then you're going to be in that top 6 range in terms of like a guaranteed playoff spot or playoff berth. So I think when you're a team like that, you have to consider optionality, give yourself as many ways to pivot and move forward. And I think that's what this front office wants to do. Number 9 is going to be interesting for me because, like, again, the goal of the draft is to find players that raise the ceiling of your team. But like we've all kind of agreed here, after number 1 and 2, you have to squint a lot harder to find that. So at that point, are you looking for somebody to raise your floor instead? Because the Raptors have made it clear they want to be competitive next season. They already have a lot of talent on this roster to be competitive, namely talent that very much needs the ball in their hands, whether it's Scotty Barnes, like you said, Kyle, adding Brandon Ingram, even an RJ Barrett, Emmanuel quickly, guys who need to have it, like, be able to make decisions with the ball in their hands to be effective. So if a guy like Kaman Malawach, like you said, Cody, drops somehow, which I would personally love, like, do you just take that because of how much it would raise the floor of this team because you were trying to get competitive sooner rather than later? So I think you have to give yourself the optionality there to answer your question, Kyle. But it's just now it just comes down to really what philosophy it is, like going back to that for the Raptors. So Cody, like, where do you fall on that?
Yeah, you know what? It's going to come down to who's on the board, obviously, but it would be interesting to see where if they would rather do like a more of a home run swing, or if they would rather let's get a plug and play kind of guy. And I mean, when you're looking at the people in that area, like there is more of a swings available to them. I mean, like somebody hasn't been brought up yet. Derek Queen is also another potential name in and around that area. It's interesting, man. Like I'm still so scatterbrained trying to sort through all of this, but my biggest takeaway is just someone's gonna fall to them. Someone always falls. The refs have done well drafting in the lotto. I believe they've had a couple of picks at 9. Pirtle was at 9.
So Pirtle was their last one at number 9. DeMar was before that, yeah.
So, hey, they've had some good picks at 9. Obviously, you got to trust Masai. The ball's landed how they will, but it'll shed some light into how the Raptors want to build this thing out. Obviously, their options are going to be a lot more limited at 9, and we'll get less knowledge because of that. But there's still going to be a good player available, and I think you just got to but definitely a lot more glass half full here. But I think, biggest takeaway is, do they go for more of a home run project swing, or do they want somebody who's going to be really good right now?
Yeah, for our history buffs, like you mentioned, Cody, I'll give you the breakdown here. They picked 9 3 times before. The first time was in 1997 when they took Tracy McGrady. Second time was DeMar DeRozan in 2009. That was pre-Masai Ujiri being in the front office. And then the Masai Ujiri pick, which was actually, karma, coincidence, whatever you want to call it, the last time Masai Ujiri actually represented the Raptors at the draft lottery was in 2016, where they ended up with the 9th pick and they took Jakob Poeltl. So, I'll get that's for our history folks here. But Cody, I'll just stick with you because I know you've been talking about the prospects here. So I guess I'll just ask them, like, at number 9, like, they just play the scenarios in your head. Who is the player that you think you want, and for like what need, fit, etc.? I know obviously it depends on who drops and whatnot, but like in your head, play out the scenarios and see like what name pops out to you.
I mean, okay, I'll run it through it right now. Number one, I would assume would be Cooper Flag. I think that's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Spurs, Harper, 3 Sixers with Bailey. I think Ace Bailey landing in Philly is really good for him now and for future. I just want to say that, unfortunately.
It's great for Philly.
Great for Philly. I think Ace coming into more of that 3 and D role to start and then being able to grow as that primary while he figures out those primary things like his handle, his bend, and his rim pressure is great. VJ at 4 to Charlotte, I think, is a perfect fit for them as well.
Fun. I hate it, but it'll be great for them.
They get a defensive off-ball guard who doesn't need the ball in his hands but can still grow into more LaMelo and Miller size kind of helps out with that, even though VJ measured in at 6'4". So that's fine. Utah at 5. What do you guys think Utah would do at 5 at that point? Like then Utah, I think, would just go best player available. I think they would take one of the guards. I don't think – basically what I'm trying to say is I think Malawash can get to 9. I kind of laid that out already, but I think there's a realistic path here for Malawash to get to 9. Utah, I think – they would go with one of the guards like a Trey Johnson or a Con Kneppel. Who's at 6? The Wizards. I mean, you just drafted Sarr. I guess they could go Malawash. Honestly, Malawash kind of fits what they want to do with the new length and all of that. Malawash gets there. That's what I want, is what I'm trying to say. And I think it's a real possibility still.
Yeah. Like I was gonna be happy.
There's a way for the Raptors. There's a way for them to come out of this with still Malawash, I think.
Yeah, look, I was gonna be happy with Malawash at 7. I've talked about it. I think the Raptors don't particularly need more high usage ball in your hand guys. Adding play finishers around players like Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes is, I think, important, especially if they don't have that superstar upside in a Dylan Harper and Cooper Flag. So a guy like Malawash, who has this insane catch radius of like, he's a 9'6" standing reach. He's like 78% finishing at the rim. He just like, he gives you that optionality of vertical spacing. And I think people have talked about how the Raptors don't really play that way. I don't think they've had the option to play that way. So if you add this guy to be as part of this offense for Darko Rakovic to run through, I think adding that guy next to Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram, well, by the way, is a pretty awesome screener. I don't think that gets talked about enough with Malawash. So adding that optionality would be important too. So I would love it there. But Kyle, I'll throw it to you now. So like, what for you? Like, what's the name that pops up to you? If like play the scenarios in your head, like what do you want to see coming? And especially if it's somebody different than Malawash.
Yeah, pretend Malawash is gone.
I don't know. In this situation, is Derek Queen still on the board, or do we think he's going higher?
Let's say sure, yeah.
Okay, then yeah. Honestly, for me, I think the Raptors need to get a big. If we couldn't get Cooper Flag, I thought outside of this we need somebody to help pair along. Especially now we're running with Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, quickly Scotty, and I feel like these guys both fill a role like pretty good, to be honest. Or Derek Queen especially as well. Like he is 6'10", so it's not like the 7-footer, but I think honestly, again, putting him alongside Jakob or even putting him just straight into that center role, I feel like that can really help out, flesh out the team. Someone that doesn't need the ball to be successful, I think we need in this draft. But again, besides like the top picks, this is our best option, I believe, personally.
But if that's the case, I don't know if Derek Queen's going to work all that well. That guy needs the ball in his hands. He likes to score a lot. He doesn't defend a lot. If you can't tell, I'm not as high on Derek Queen. I will say that was with the idea of us being in like the Raptors being in like the 5 to 7 range, hypothetically, right? Like obviously at this point, like the upside swing, like you said, Cody, if they want to go for a bit more of that like home run play, especially at 9, you really do want to see what you can get out of it. I completely see the upside of a Derek Queen. He has tons of like counters in his offensive game. He has really good footwork. It's just like those questions on defense. I don't believe in the shooting all that much. I think he shot around something like 20% or something from perimeter in college. Yeah. I don't really love the baby Jokic comparisons. He's not a playmaker. I'm sorry. He averages more turnovers than assists. And then like the Şengün stuff, I kind of see. Like I get it, but like at that pick, I could see it. I'll throw this out and I'll ask you guys what you think of it, because for the sake of like you guys already said Malawash and Queen, and you guys have both already said bigs.
I have another name that I would love as well. But
okay, tell me if it's the same as this. But I think I know who you're going to talk about. That's different. But I'll mention Kasparis, Jakučionis, because I am kind of getting a little tired of the Raptors prototype when it comes to guards that are either smaller in stature or a bit more slender and speedy. I would like some size in the guard rotation, especially your primary ball handler. And at 6'6", 205 pounds, you would just by far and away be the biggest guard on this team. Emmanuel quickly is 6'3". Great. He's about 10 pounds lighter than Jamal Shed, who's 6 foot tall. Like, you can see how the physicality has really impacted these small guards. And it's been a common theme for the Raptors for quite some time. Going back to Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, even if you look at Dennis Schroeder and Davion Mitchell, these are more slight or just shorter in stature guards, especially at the point guard spot. And I would just love to see a bit more size. It's why I was salivating at the idea of Dylan Harper, quite honestly. That guy would have been a freak and fit so perfectly into that position. Just like literally filled everything, especially with athleticism. So Kasparis, he has more question marks. I think he's shown he's a high-level processor. The turnovers became a concern, especially later in the season with Kasparis. So it's something you do want to see him fix up. But his usage was a lot higher too. So I'm just like saying, if you want to find a way to get some size in the rotation, especially with this point of attack, heavy defense thing, I'm not saying he's a lockdown defender or anything, but just adding that there is an option, especially off the bench to start. I think it gives you optionality, right? Because then if the quickly situation doesn't work out, it's a guy who can really kind of fit in there and be a processor and play make for some of your more play finisher type of guys. So I don't know if you have thoughts on that, Cody, before you want to jump in with your name, or if you just want to go to it, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think you laid it out pretty well. I'm going to bring up another guard that I think Kasparis can be there, and I think Fears can be there, Jeremiah Fears. So you touched on KJ. I'll touch on Jeremiah Fears a little bit. I totally hear you on the size in the backcourt, and that's why I was literally going to say that's why I would have loved Dylan Harper in Toronto because, and again, he had an ungodly rim rate, like finishing driving season this year, and it would have fit perfectly next to IQ, who's more of that perimeter shot creator. But Fears, if they want to take a home run swing, especially at the guard position, like Fears would be that guy. He's super young. He's supposed to be in high school this year. He reclassed. Yeah. But again, he is a bit smaller, measured in 6'2.5" without shoes on. So with shoes on, you're looking at like 6'3", just under 6'4", 6'5.5" or 6'5.25" wingspan, 8'2", 8'2.5" standing reach. So obviously, been on the smaller side of guards, but he provides some rim pressure that the Raptors still need. Like that's why Dylan Harper would have been great. Dylan Harper does it at a higher level.
Yeah.
But Fears' driving ability, he might be the best handler in the class.
I was going to say, he has a really tight handle.
And the way he's able to get to the rim it's special. He does it so well. And he had some tough play in the SEC tournament and then in the SEC in general, in conference play. And it had some mixed results, but for young guards like this, like he has playmaking upside. His PNR play is really good. He has like a budding floater game as well. He shot 50% on like floaters and like runners and like that. So gets to the rim, gets to the free throw line quite a bit. He had a nearly 52% free throw rate. I think that's somebody who the Raptors could potentially take, but again, weaknesses. 3-point shooting, wasn't much of a shooter at all, especially off the dribble. Like it was pretty bad. He was just under 21% on off the dribble threes this year, but he had the confidence to take them.
I was gonna say his shot diet, like he was willing to take big shots,
and he was relied so much on that team that I think if someone like a Fears or Malawash would be my top two. And then if they're both gone, which I think is totally possible, then you're looking at like the Casper Shakichonis's, or you're looking at that forward spot with like a Issa Newell or Carter Bryant or a Colin Murray Boyles, who all I would think would still be there at 9.
Yeah, I would think so too. And with the Fears pick, I think like especially if you're at 9, there's way less pressure about this player needing to come in and be a starter right away. And then you get the conversation about like what their role is on the team. And I think Fears could value a lot from coming off the bench for the Raptors, like being with that second unit, playing with the rest of the young guys and the rookies. Like you said, he's a crafty player. I'm a big fan of his handle, which I think is so important for young guys coming out. It's one of the first things that like you see with other players who struggle kind of processing in traffic in the NBA is like their handle can solve all those problems. So I think that's going to be important. Like you said, not the most efficient shooter, but he's taking some big shots for the Oklahoma team. And again, I'm echoing here, but just the load on him offensively just was immense, especially throughout conference and tournament play. You just saw how much he was trying to do to will this team to win. So I think that's one of the things that has to be taken into account. It's going to be very different in terms of the context in which he'll play for the Raptors, and insulating that way could be interesting. So I like that idea of like if you're in this range and you want to add some depth to the bench and then see if the player can bud into that role, it's definitely something to take a look at. But Kyle, I am ready to hate a little bit. I am ready to get a little upset. Okay, and I know you're the person I can come to for a good rant, who just understands it just from the pure fan perspective of seeing like the Philadelphia 76ers with the ungodliness of their tanking and just signing and keeping old guys, and somehow still things worked out for them where Jared McCain would have been rookie of the year, and then he gets hurt, but you still have him and he's still going to be great, and then now you end up with the third pick. San Antonio Spurs, we talked about it. The rich just getting richer. You said goodbye to Greg Popovich, and he's in the front office role. El Jefe. You have Mitch Johnson stepping in. It's supposed to be a changing of the guard. You're figuring stuff out, but but you're the Spurs, so somehow you can trade for De'Aaron Fox. You can get in a position to potentially either make a blockbuster trade, like hello Giannis or whatever have you. But if not, Dylan Harper, pairing him next with Stephon Castle as this insanely young backcourt while you have Fox. And then Victor Wembanyama is still around, by the way. And that's not even the craziest thing, because the Dallas Mavericks GM Nico Harrison in that front office got tired of Luka Doncic not being on P90X 24/7 and sent him away, and they get immediately rewarded by getting Cooper Flag on this team next to Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Derek Lively, who we haven't even talked about really. That could be fun with Cooper Flag and some kind of short roll stuff they can do together. But there's no pressure on this kid here other than the fact that they might trade him in 5 years. And he can just fit in next to Kyrie and AD and let them be the vets to kind of lead this squad, obviously, if they stay healthy. Kyle, how bogus is this?
I was about to say you came to the right person for the hate. Like
let it out.
This is ridiculous, bro. When was the last time a team jumped 10 spots in the draft? Like when?
I mean, Atlanta technically did it last year, to be fair, but we're gonna ignore that.
But they didn't trade away. They didn't trade Trae Young and then get a number one pick the same year. It's actually ridiculous, bro. I don't know what Luka did to deserve this type of karma. I don't know what the direct deposit had to hit from the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA, because this is actually ridiculous, bro. Dallas getting it, then San Antonio, then Philly. These are teams that don't deserve this. I don't care. The entire fan base can come after me. You guys do not deserve this, and you know it. You know it. And I'm not saying, okay, Raptors deserve it. I'm saying any of the other teams, like, man, the West got blessed today, huh? The East just couldn't get anything. This is, bro, like, I don't even, like, I'm speechless, because what are the odds you trade away a generational superstar like Luka, a perennial MVP player, and then you get the number one pick in the same year? On a 1.8% chance.
Hey, all I'm saying is it kind of seems similar to, when the New Orleans Pelicans traded away Anthony Davis and they ended up with Zion Williamson, huh? Funny little coincidence there, isn't it? You think that just happens? Like, I'm sorry, it's not rigged, but I'm going to feel like it's rigged because this is insane.
Yeah, you trade away that. You put the pieces together. You trade away Luka to the biggest market in the NBA. We'll reward you with something. We got you guys with something. You look like a fool for a little bit. We got you with hit the line.
And who did the Pelicans trade Anthony Davis to last time? Also the biggest market in Los Angeles. I'm just saying. I'm turning into Windy here. I'm just putting the fingers up.
And it was for generational prospects coming out of Duke.
Like, I'm putting the fingers up. You do the rest. That's all I'm doing.
It's the NBA equivalent of selling your soul. You give LeBron your best player, and you get the number one pick in the draft.
All right. Well, I need to go for a walk. I'm pretty much. You guys are getting into my head, but yeah, I think it's
okay.
I hope we were able to provide some analysis. It's been a lot of just more of a banter pod than anything, but
we needed that though. We truly needed that.
This is just pretty much us ranting.
Yeah,
it's therapy for me at least. Okay, guys. Final thoughts. Final say. You can say a sentence or whatever. Just on the Raptors ending up at 9th. The prospects looking forward. Cody, I'll give it to you quick. Just give me your final thoughts.
Yeah. All right. I think I've been the most happy guy. I'm not happy. Like, I'm definitely not happy, but I think. Obviously, brutal what happened with the Raptors specifically. Brutal for the Wizards and Jazz. Shout out the Dallas Mavericks, I guess. Nico Harrison is a genius. They get number one.
Stop saying that. He's not a genius.
What do you mean? He got Cooper Flag. I don't know.
He's a genius because he listened to Adam Silver and sent Luka to LA, and he got. Okay, it's supposed to be final thoughts. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep ranting. Kyle, what do you have?
This Man, Giannis to the Spurs inbound, bro. It's count it in the next few months. You're about to see that the Shams trade hit, bro. Like
Okay,
this is
I
what
didn't
it
say
is.
final thoughts, but I guess I like really quick. Cody, if you're the Spurs, do you trade it for Giannis? 240 or whatever goes into it?
I think I would.
Yeah, Kyle, yes or no?
Yeah, I would do it. I would do it.
Yeah, two for Giannis. You already have Stephon Castle. Dylan Harper's great, and you love it, but it's Giannis. Okay, for me, just like you said, Cody, you have to be optimistic right now because what other choice do you have? Trust in this front office. They got dealt a not so great hand, and Masai Ujiri, to his credit, has been pretty good in the lottery so far. Late first round picks, it's not as pretty, but for the most part, he hasn't been picking all that high to begin with. But you get Scotty Barnes at 4, which wasn't a consensus pick. You took a bit of a not a gamble, but you trusted your scouting department. It paid off. You got Jakob Poeltl at 9 way back when. That was a pretty good damn pick. And then you got Ready Dick at 13. Jury's still out there, but you see the promise there. So for the most part, Masai Ujiri and the staff have done pretty well when it comes to lottery picks. So I'm going to trust in it begrudgingly given the situation, but you have no choice. But that does it for us here at Run It Back. From myself, Kyle, and Cody, we appreciate you tuning in, even though it was a bit of a nonsense pod at times. But let us know down below. How do you feel? Raptors stuck at 9. What would you do? Who would you draft? Would you trade it? Give us all your thoughts and feedback below. We appreciate it. Make sure you also like the video and share it so it reaches as many people as possible so they can enjoy us losing our minds. But beyond that, that does it for us here at Raptors Republic at Run It Back. God, I am so tired. I need a walk. That does it for us here at Run It Back. Peace out. We'll see you soon.